Today I want to tell you about a Norwegian composer by the name of Edvard Grieg. He was born in Norway in 1843. His dad was a merchant, but his mother was a teacher, a piano teacher to be very exact, and she started teaching by the time he was 6. Now he was good, and he was so good in fact that by the time he was 15 he went to conservatory, which is college, guys, so that was really good. He did well in college. He didn't really enjoy it that much. He felt that when he left, he hadn't really learned a lot. Of course, he had learned a lot, but it felt to him like he hadn't learned a lot. Anyway, during the end of his college and even the beginning of his career, he was very sick. He ended up getting a lung disease, different types of lung diseases multiple times, and at the end of that, he ended up with a destroyed left lung. He became really good friends with several doctors throughout his life because he had to see them so often because it was a lifelong struggle, this sickness of his. Anyway, eventually he fell in love with the soprano. He loved her so much and she was so good and very influential in his job, and they got married. Besides being a great soprano, she was also his first cousin. But she was a good soprano, so, they had a daughter. And when their daughter was 13 months old, she sadly passed away. What ended up happening was he composed a piano concerto in A minor, and it's very sad and very beautiful. They never had any more kids after that. Now, our wonderful composer Grieg did not always stay in Norway. For a little while he went to other places, but he came back. And he loved Norway. He was super proud of being Norwegian, and he started studying folk music of Norway and everything he could about Norway, and he incorporated all that in his music from then on till forever. He loved the way that the landscape was heard in the sound, and he just kept composing. He became really good friends with a very influential, well-known playwright from Norway called Henrik Ibsen. Henrik Ibsen was writing a thing, and he asked, hey, can you write some soundscapes for this, which was his songs for Peer Gynt. And most of you, if you know any of his songs, Grieg, you know these songs. So one of them is Morning Mood, which is like da 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 dum, or In the Hall of the Mountain King, bum 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 bum. Those are all from Peer Gynt. Composers around the world that heard his music fell in love with his music. He got to meet Liszt. Liszt wanted to meet him, met him. Liszt played his music and absolutely adored it. He also, Tchaikovsky loved his music. Tchaikovsky praised his music a lot. Maybe a fun fact is that he got 2 separate honorary doctorals for composition for music. One was from Oxford and one was from Cambridge, which made him Dr. Grieg. Now, not an MD, but a PhD, but Dr. Grieg nonetheless. There was another man named Grieg in his hometown who was a doctor, like a medical doctor. So as soon as he became doctor with his honorary doctorate, he went and faxed his hometown to Dr. Grieg from Dr. Grieg. He thought that was really funny. It is a little bit cute. Eventually, his sicknesses could not be healed. He didn't die from the lung disease, however. He died from a heart, which had to work really hard because there was only one lung. But he died of heart failure in 1907. Now listen to this. He was a super popular guy. Between 30 and 40,000 people went to the streets to mourn his death. That is a lot. He had requested that this funeral march that he wrote be played, and it was. So he wrote his own funeral march. I think that's cool. It's a little bit dark, but cool. But that's what happened. So there's a lot more that he wrote than what most people listen to than just a Peer Gynt. There's beautiful piano pieces, there's orchestral pieces. So as always, I would suggest you go listen to something of Edvard Grieg.